Partnered by Times Influence.
Hello and welcome to Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018 powered by Global Indian International School. Now NRI of the Year Awards recognize excellence by professionals across the world, and the winners this year are
Sajeev Koshi, Asia Pacific. Prashant Mangat, Middle East. Sanjay Jadhav, North America. Pratap Bose, UK and Europe.
I have with me Pratap Bose. He's the head of design at Tata Motors. Pratap, welcome. Congratulations on winning the award. But before we get to that, tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you start? How did you get to design at Tata Motors?
So first of all, thank you for having me. It's a real honor to have won this award. Well, the journey is a long one, as you can imagine. You know, on a trip to India, funnily enough, I met the then managing director of Tata Motors, Mr. Ravi Kant. One thing led to another, and I ended up in Tata Motors, and they placed me in the UK at that point. This is about in 2007, so over 11 or 12 years ago. And yeah, that's how the journey actually started.
So at Tata Motors, this design next philosophy, and I've seen the new Nexon, it looks absolutely stunning. How did the idea germinate? What led to the Nexon coming out? What led to this design next philosophy?
See, we were going through, in about 2008, 9, 10, we went through quite an intense phase of rediscovering what Tata Motors is about. We lost sort of mind share, I call it. We sort of weren't in many people's list of cars you'd consider to buy.
Yeah.
We did a concept car which we showed in 2014. I presented it to the board, I still remember. And when we took the covers off, the board members sort of looked at each other, and the only question they asked was, when are we going to have this car on the road? So that was the sort of power of a design which really was bold. It really captured the imagination of whoever saw it, and now it's on the road. So
I'll move on to the design centers. 3 design centers around the world, employees from 9 nationalities. How do you bring everyone to the same page? How do you manage that?
Yeah, you're right. We have designers from the US all the way to Australia. But my job, I think, in all of this is we have about 180 staff across the world in design, from 9 countries, as you said, is to really bring them together to speak the same Tata Motors design language.
Right.
Each one has a perspective which I really respect. Someone in Australia has a very different idea of what a small car should be, and that brings richness to our design team.
So what are some upcoming trends that you're seeing that are coming up, that are growing, that should shape the way for the next few years?
See, one is boring doesn't sell anymore.
Yeah.
Cars have become a real, symbol of your aspiration, where you are in society. It's not about A to B anymore. That's one. Second is people talk about driverless cars, but I talk about carless drivers. That means people who will not own cars, but will tap into mobility. So it's usership instead of ownership. So I call this carless drivers.
Yeah.
And the third is, of course, EVs, electric vehicles. That's going to really change the way cars are designed.
Tata's also a big player now in the EVs in India especially. Some trends that you see coming up in the EV, because currently it's a little bit, here and there. The government first was pushing strongly, now it's on a bit of a back foot.
Yes.
What's the sense that you have?
There's a bit of a chicken and egg situation, infrastructure versus the product. We in the Tata Group are actually very fortunate to have companies like Tata Power, Tata Communications. So, you know, the 3 or 4 group companies can actually change that chicken and egg relationship.
What is the role of technology? How is technology bringing about changes in the way cars and other products are designed?
I think the greatest benefit, and technology has to be used you know, carefully, is actually speed of introduction of products. So today we use a lot of computer aided design. We don't let the computer design the car, we still have control over it, but it allows us to develop products much faster. So, you know, if I even talk about 5 or 6 years ago, you know, it would take, the product development cycle would be about 60 to 72 months for a new car, whereas now it's come down to 40 months. So we can start with a clean sheet of paper today, and in less than 4 years, you'll have the car on the road. And a huge part of that is through the technology backbone that we use, right from design to engineering to manufacturing.
Before I let you go, Pratap, just your thoughts on having won this NRI of the Year award.
You know, I think when you actually leave the country, you know, as they say, you can't take India out of a person, even if you take the person out of India. You know, it's a real sense of pride that you feel when you're recognized on a platform like this. It's a truly global platform, the NRI of the Year. Everyone follows this, and having sort of won it this year, I think I feel extremely privileged to belong to this exclusive club of people who've made a mark, you know, for themselves, of course, but also brought spotlight to India and what India produces and exports in that sense.
Fantastic. So congratulations on that, Pratap, and wishing you all the best for the way ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
We're now in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year award in the category Professional from the region Asia Pacific. I have with me Dr. Sajeev Koshi. He's the head of 3 specialist disciplines at the Dental Health Services Victoria. Dr. Koshi, first, congratulations on the award. But first up, tell me a little bit about your journey, the move from a tiny village in Kerala to New Zealand and then Australia. Take me through that.
It was a significant move for me to move from the state of Kerala to a small town in New Zealand in the South Island called Dunedin. The decision for me to go to Dunedin was New Zealand had only 1 dental school when compared to India, which has got more than 320 dental schools. So you can see the transformational change there. But we decided to move for 2 reasons. We is to make a shift change, sea change in that, and also for my children to get an international exposure at an young age.
And how was that first, I mean, for the culture shock, and then moving from New Zealand to Australia?
During my period in New Zealand, I went to the University of Otago, which is one of the oldest universities in the southern hemisphere.
You did an MBA there.
I did an MBA
very
there,
different from usually
and
doctors
that
don't do
MBA
that.
gave me the confidence of challenging the existing norms and gave me the confidence to reskill myself in dentistry.
Fantastic.
And that was a transformational change again, and I decided to make a move to Melbourne because opportunities and more challenges to be taken over there. And that was the decision to move to Melbourne.
Give me some insights on this challenges part, because you know that is what daunts people, that's what puts people down. How did you fight back these challenges? How did you overcome these
Just to
challenges?
give you a small example, when I decided to move to Australia, oral health was at the top level in the waiting list for the country. There were waiting lists of more than 55 months, 60 months to be seen by a public dentist for the eligible population in Victoria. So when I joined the public dentistry in Victoria, in some of the regional areas, the waiting list was about 15 months. My high-performing team could bring down the waiting list from 57 months to less than 7 months in 2.5 years. That gave me the confidence to really make a difference in the service delivery in oral health in Victoria.
You know, you've spoken about India and what you've learned from here. Now, at the current scenario, at the current place that India is, healthcare in India is, And if you compare it with what's happening in Melbourne, in Victoria, what you're doing there, how do you compare the two spaces, Melbourne, India, and what are you seeing as some kind of the future of healthcare in India, the oral healthcare in India?
I'm very happy to be to discuss that, because India has got really highly skilled talent. But unfortunately, some of our physical facilities are lacking, especially with public care. Yes, we have very large private hospitals, but when we look at our public health facilities, the physical facilities are not comparable to the West.
Right.
However, our talent pool with our highly skilled health force is one of the best in the world when compared to any other Western country. And knowing the good things and bad things of both the countries, I can very confidently tell that we have highly skilled talent in India, and we are providing cost-effective service delivery, which the West is now adopting. The West now, especially Australia, we are going into integrated value-based healthcare. That means basically look at quality health outcomes / cost.
Right.
India has been adopting that in a very rugged way, not in the real scientific sense. But we have been providing healthcare to our masses, especially in Kerala, where we have a very high profile with literacy as well as with healthcare. So using the expertise of our IT professionals, we can even take the healthcare service delivery to the remotest part of India with giving quality outcomes.
Fantastic. Dr. Koshi, just your thoughts on having won this NRI of the Year award here today.
It is so nice that Times Now and ICICI Bank has come forward in recognizing, but there are a lot of unsung heroes in the global world, and all of them needs credit for doing the work and spreading the message.
But congratulations on the award, and thank you so much for talking to us.
And thank you very much.
It's time now for a short break here on Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by Global Indian International School. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Deepu, Vibha, Abhi Chachu.
Oh, I had to transfer money to Abhi in India for his tuitions. I don't have his new bank details.
Papa, use the Money to India app. Select Abhi's WhatsApp contact and send money safely.
Really?
Download the Money to India app and safely do transfers to your Facebook or WhatsApp contacts today. ICICI Bank Money to India. Transfer bharose ka.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. तो कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox & Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox & Kings makes it easier.
This generation lives in the ever-evolving present. English is the lingua franca of the digital age, and it is the mode of expression for Generation Y. The number of English content viewers has risen 3 times over in just the last 1 decade. About 218 million viewers, which constitute the Indian middle class, view English content. An audience greater than any of the widely spoken languages such as Tamil, Telugu, or any language other than Hindi. English is the only bona fide pan-Indian verbal medium and the language of choice for the Indian intelligentsia.
When will we see issues like caste not hijack the development agenda, the economic agenda of this country?
With over 60% in the urban English population, there is only one network that dominates the category. Now is the moment for Times Network, engaging with today's audiences on air and online. Times Network, now or nothing. the English television category leaders across urban India. Number 1 in English movies. Number 1 in English entertainment. Number 1 in English news. Number 1 in business news. A channel that presents the wild side of Hollywood, MNX. And now also presenting Mirror Now, a news channel unlike any other, where the focus remains solely on issues that impact you every day. Mirror Now, you first. A unique network comprising extraordinary channels that lead the genre they represent across formats, thus reaching out to the discerning English viewer every day, every hour.
India means business.
Times Network. Informing.
यूपीए की सरकार के 10 साल और हमारी सरकार के 3.5-4 साल हुआ है, उसका तुलनात्मक ब्यौरा देश के सामने आते रहना चाहिए.
Entertaining. Hey, look at this. And inspiring India. With over 60% of English viewers watching Times Network, we are privileged to be the one-stop destination for every second dedicated English content viewer. Times Network. Now or nothing.
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं एंड स्टिल नॉट गेट टू नो देम. तो कहते हैं द बेस्ट वे टू रियली गेट टू नो समवन इज टू ट्रैवल विद देम. यू गेट टू मेक मेमोरीज जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. सो रुकिए मत, गेट टू रियली नो ईच अदर.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox and Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox and Kings makes it easier.
Welcome back to Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by Global Indian International School. I'm now in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year Award in the professional category from the North American region, Mr. Sanjay Jadhav, the Director R&D at International Nutrition Incorporated. Congratulations, sir, on winning the award. But Mr. Jadhav, first, take me through your journey. What was the start of your journey? How did you move on to America and at International Nutrition?
Actually, I am born in Buldana district. There is a place called Kolwad, which is like 5 kilometers from Buldana. So I was honored in the US, and that time the PR of that agency, he asked me. I counter questioned him, do you know what is Americanism? And then I told him, there are many people around the world in whom they resonate an American, and that American was myself. What I said, I achieved that one. But ultimately, being from agricultural background, I did, after my 12th science, I got engineering as well as veterinary sciences. I also got another job in Indian Air Force, but I prefer to pursue higher degree, higher education. I did my master's in veterinary sciences in Nagpur. Later on, pursued my PhD at Indian Veterinary Research Institute, which is a federally funded institute of Government of India. And from there, I did that with fellowship. And after that, I was recruited under competitive system as a scientist in Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. And I was placed here in Warsaw.
Okay.
So on and off, I continued that job for almost 15 years. And I trained and taught more than 100 students. Of them, 15 are in Europe and North America. Many of them, some of their research is featured in Wall Street Journal, and you have my achievements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is teaching a passion? Do you think after a few years, decades, maybe would you be returning back to teaching? Because I believe teaching is, of course, a very noble and a very important profession to nurture the leaders of the future.
I would love to, but now I am 50, and you know, when you grow up in career, you aspire to be, you know, rather than teaching students only. I reached to a stage I can teach even academicians now. Most of the people who follow me keep on constant, they are all in constant contact with me, and about their career I keep helping many academicians at large in this country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, but especially in the area of veterinary sciences, animal sciences, fisheries sciences.
Right.
So if you can somehow push or motivate academicians, they can do better. What one individual is going to do as far as direct one-to-one or in classroom setting, one person cannot do that one. You have to create teachers.
Yes.
So I would classically call myself as teacher of teachers.
Fantastic. You know, they say that you can never get the India out of the Indian wherever we are placed in the world. So I was wondering if you would like to say something.
Every individual, you know, we have a quote in Marathi, Vyakti Titya Prakriti. That what it means that people have a certain mindset. So I grew up in an environment. My father was literally a very different person, and our doors were open for all castes and communities. And when I retrospectively evaluate his life, he was servant leader. So if you are a servant leader, you will always do good things for the people.
That's true. And so finally, just your thoughts on having won the award here tonight.
Oh, it's fantastic. It means, like, you know, awards are always just a motivation. But nevertheless, I would put it this way, that having it has given a sort of more confidence, and it's by confidence in me to do good things for the society. And I do not differentiate between people. In this country we have caste and creeds and this and that, but in North America we have races. But I never differentiate between people. It's like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It's a one society. So we have neighbors, Spanish people and the Chinese and others, but I'm friend with all people.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us, and congratulations once again on winning the award. Thank you. I'm now in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year award in the professional category from the Middle East region. I'm with Mr. Prashant Mangat. He's the CEO at NMC Health. Welcome to the show, sir, and congratulations once again on having won the award. Let's take a deep dive into your journey. It's been a very interesting journey, but take me through your early days and now finally here at NMC Health.
First of all, thank you very much. I'm very happy and indeed very proud to be winner of this Times Now award. I come from a rural background of India, from Kerala, and I have been very fortunate. I believe that my schooling, I finished in an era that was just before liberalization of 1990. So I was one of the very few on that, where you crossed your teens, half of it in a unliberalized, non-liberalized India, and half of it on a liberalized India. So I've been able to really see the benefits of the liberalized Indian economy. At the same time, I've been also fortunate to live in a village where even today a lot of nostalgia comes to me. I've been born and brought up in that background from a small town named Namara in Palakkad. From there, I moved into the schooling in Cochin to the college days, and later I qualified as a chartered accountant from Kerala. And later, after that qualification, I was working with Kotak Mahindra in India and taking care of the regional activities. Same time, my brother, who is younger to me, is also a chartered accountant, and he heads the UAE Exchange Travelex brand. And we both studied on the same time, throughout, and we are more than a friend than a brother. He happened to join in this same group where NMC is, which is Dr. Shetty, who founded that, where he was working in UAE Exchange and I work in Kotak Mahindra. And one day, it happened to have an unplanned meeting with Dr. Shetty in 2002. And his charisma, really took me. And from 2003 onwards, I've seen at least 3 times the exponential growth happening in the UAE market, which is correspondingly reflected on NMC's group's growth also. 2003 to 2011, I was in the pharma industry owned by Dr. Shetty. In 2011, I moved into the greater role of CFO of NMC Group and took the company public in London Stock Exchange in 2012. And that was a real milestone in the entire corporate metamorphosis of NMC. And 2012, we listed in London, and then the journey started again to a new curve for the company. And in 2015, I became the deputy CEO, and later in a year and a half, I became the CEO of the company.
Wow, it's really inspiring and interesting. Let's pick out some of the highlights from this superb journey. I want to talk about some of the acquisitions that you did in the Gulf. Those must have been some tough challenges, a different mindset at that time. Take us through that phase.
Yeah, definitely. If we take the journey of the corporate of NMC for 45 years, it was only in 2015 that the first inorganic thing happened. So 42 years company has been only doing organic expansion. And I think I played an important role on it, and that was the time I moved from a CFO to a deputy CEO. And the board was able to really understand the importance of an inorganic expansion. So the most important hurdle, if you ask me, is the mindset change of the people, that we need to move away from organic to inorganic. Inorganic definitely is more expensive, you need to pay more money, but it's lower gestation time and you bring knowledge faster. And the biggest other second hurdle will be like, how will you bring your knowledge from another market to your market, and then try to do that. Hospital business to me is a mix of a retail business to a manufacturing business and a hotel business.
In the healthcare space, I would like your thoughts, being a global Indian, for you to turn the spotlight inwards to India. How things in the UAE compared with what's happening in India. What are your thoughts on that?
India, if you really look at a country, is a country of a lot of dichotomy. My view is that innovation, the technology can definitely make a big difference. Globally, we have been the leader of technology in many aspects of it. On the medical space, it has to come up a lot. A lot of innovations are happening but that is on the application side of medical technology, which may change, but not a radical change can happen in. The real change has to happen from product and the services than on the application. That has to be really invested on by the entire society.
Fantastic. Mr. Mangad, before I let you go, just your thoughts on having won this award here today.
I'm really first of all thankful and very happy and proud. Times remains in everybody's minds for many, many years. And an event like this, of this type of celebrities coming from every walk of life across the world, and honoring the non-resident, and sometimes as a non-resident you feel a lot of nostalgia and connect to the country. And when you start really celebrating that success and victories, will definitely bring a lot of knowledge and wealth into the nation, and that will definitely help India as a country to prosper.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Congratulations once again, and all the best wishes for the way ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's all on this episode of Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by Global Indian International School. Join us next week for some more riveting conversations. Until then, from the entire team, many thanks for watching.
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. So कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox and Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox and Kings makes it easier.
Daddy, see so many coins. It's for your birthday gift.
So sweet. Keep it carefully, huh?
I will keep it safe in a bag.
Oh, you know everything.
Daddy, he is my friend Aimo. He knows everything.
But how will you send all these coins?
With my plane.
Sweetie, we should send money with someone who has been doing this for a long time and is trusted by all, and who will keep your money safe.
ICICI Bank Money to India is the trusted one.
Exactly.
Trusted by millions for over 15 years. Money to India from ICICI Bank, India's largest private bank. Thanks, beta.
Visit moneytoindia.com or download the app. ICICI Bank Money to India. Transfer भरोसे का.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. So कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You'll always find a perfect holiday with Cox and Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox and Kings makes it easier.